Hello everyone, it is Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. I'm losing track of the days here. Every day is a work from home day right now. So I am working on a chicken tractor. I'm not doing this 100% of my own design. I'm going to use some plans and then make some adaptations along the way. I will put a link to those plans down in the show notes so you guys can download those if you want to follow along. So I've already cut my wood and I'm getting ready to do the build. So there were a lot of cuts. If you want to follow along again, it's down in the plans. So far I've got my 2 rectangular frames done, and I'm going to put these 24-inch posts along each side like we're building a table. So we lost another chicken last night. This time it was a leghorn, and we think that something may have eaten it. It was still in there when we got up this morning, but the bottom of the box had been torn up, and up and in to the coop. So we think maybe something had gotten into the garage, gotten in there. Maybe it's the same thing that took out the other 2 a couple days ago. I don't know, but it's really motivated me to get this chicken tractor built. So I'm gonna record this, let you guys come along so you can see how I build a tractor. All right guys, so after you put your 4 legs on, your 24-inch legs in each corner, then you're gonna wanna go 24 inches from the end, and right on center, put another 24-inch post. So you're gonna have 3 additional posts on each side to support that frame. All right guys, the next step is you pick one side to be your side where the nesting boxes are gonna go. You'll call that the back. That does not have a post, a supporting post in the middle, but you do go at 21.5 inches from the outer edge across the front, put another 24-inch post right there. So now we're gonna flip this whole thing over, and we're going to take our other rectangle that we made and secure it to the top. The same thing, when you flip this over, you put the frame on top. Make sure you measure every 24 inches for these 24-inch posts, so they're every 2 feet from the end, and then 21.5 inches straight in the middle for this front end 24-inch post. I'm out of daylight, running out of daylight, so this is going to be it for me tonight. Apparently all the goats, it's a goat run. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap this up tonight and hopefully I'll be able to finish it tomorrow. Alright, it is the next day and we are back out here to work on the chicken tractor. So just to catch up with where we are so far, we've got an 8-foot 2x2 on the side and on the bottom, connected to a 40-inch 2x2 on the front and on the back, and the same thing that we did on the top, we did on the bottom. So we built those 2 rectangles, again with an 8-foot 2x2 and a 40-inch 2x2. And then we mounted them with these 24-inch posts. So that's where we are so far. Let's go on to the next step. Also to note, if you are following along at home, I didn't actually buy 2x2s. We bought 10 2x4s. 1 extra just in case I need it, and you just rip cut them straight down the middle into 2x2s. So just a side note for that. So the next part, we're going to put some diagonal 8-foot braces on both sides. So let's put that on. We've taken the 2 8-footers here, 8-foot 2x2s, and put them diagonally. Now, one thing, according to the instructions, if you're following along from the permaculture website, which again the link is down in the description if you want to download the plans, these vertical bars should be going opposite directions. So I've got one that starts down over there, the other one on the other side starts up. So up and moves down, down and moves up. Then you also have your 47.5-inch crossbar right here. This should start low on the left, and as it moves up to the right, up high, because on the right hand side is where your door is going to be. Well, here's where we are so far. You're going to take one of your 40-inch boards, and it's going to be placed right in the middle. So if you look, you get a good view from there. If you look at the middle of the crossbars, the middle post, you know, the middle 24-inch post there, it's going to go straight across the middle there. And what I did I just screwed it right down into the, can you see my hand? It's hard to do. Just screwed it right down into the crossbar there. And then from there, the next one is gonna go onto the up and down 24-inch post. This is screwed in from the outside. The directions say to be a foot off the ground. Well, I didn't measure a foot off the ground because I may end up putting a floor in this thing at some point in the future. So I measured a foot off the top of the baseboard and went up a foot and put it right on center. The next board that we're gonna put in is the third perch. So from the middle perch going to the back of the coop, you want to be a foot off, and we're going to mount it to these vertical rails or these horizontal rails. It will not be level, it's going to be diagonal according to the directions, but you don't want to go any further back than a foot because it's going to get in the way of the nesting boxes in the future. So that's the next step. That's what I'm mounting on now. Also, don't know if I mentioned, but these perches are all 40-inch posts. And with this one that is closest to the front door, because it's mounted in these vertical posts, I did put 2 screws on one side just to keep this from rolling over if a chicken's perched on it. I don't want it flipping on them. So 2 screws on that one. All right, moving to the next step. All right guys, so for the next step, we take a 40-inch board and we put it 11 inches off the bottom here. So we have an 11-inch board and we just use that to brace this as we screwed it into both side posts. And then you put this at 21.5 inches, this 11-inch board, and screw that in right there as well. All right, so the next step is you take your 2 15-inch boards and you drill them into the ends of the 26.5. Like so. All right, so this next part was a little confusing for me, but I hope I got it right here. So you take your 2 15-inch boards and put them on each side of the 26.5. So let's get a visual here. So I've got my, switch camera angle. So here's my 15 attached to my 26.5. Then you take your 20-inch 1x4 and put it flush against the side. Mine is a little off, it's not exactly flush. I don't know what happened here. I had a hard time putting this 20 in with this 23 here. So this is a 23-inch 1x4 and another 20-inch 1x4. You leave 1 3/4 inches of this post hanging off the bottom of the 20 there. All right guys, so the next piece, you're gonna get another 30-inch 2x2 and 2 8-inch 1x2s. And the 8-inch 1x2s are going to get 2 screws on each side of this post like this. And then from what I can understand, down here with our nest box, we're going to screw this in with 1 screw on each side, just like that, loosely, so that it can swivel. All right, so some ground so you can see it away from everything else. So I've mounted those 8-inch 1x2s right to the back in line with that 26.5-inch 2x2. And we don't screw the screws, you just put 1 screw in each side, don't tighten it all the way down so that you're able to lower it. There we go. So the next part is you go to the back of the coop. You're going to measure 5 inches from the inside edge. Showing us my little red mark there. My red mark there. That's the center for where you're going to hang this nesting box. So you put your 9 3/4 and wedge it from the top and then down into this once this is level. I'm going to get an extra hand to help me hold this up so I can screw it in. Alright, so here it is mounted in. So I did something a little different. I went ahead and mounted this 9 3/4 straight to the 15 first on this nesting box before I set it on this. So it made it a little tight because I didn't have that screw all the way in. And then while I was hitting it with a mallet trying to get it to go in, I split my 8-inch. I really don't want to have to recut that. So I'm probably going to try some duct tape and glue and see if that holds it together. So I screwed this straight to that, then rested it on this bar, put another screw straight to the bottom, and then one straight to the top. Didn't put any glue in here, just some tape. Seems like it'll do alright though for what it's swinging purpose. Alright guys, I am almost out of daylight again today. I got held up by this next step because I did not have my batteries charged on my saw. So you take your two 10-inch boards and you cut a 45-degree angle on them, and then you mount them to your nest box up to that back wall right there. While I was waiting, I went and got my tin snips out, started working on this hardware cloth. I did end up keeping the stainless steel stuff. You know, I just thought it was more of a hassle to try to send it back at this point. And I guess it's supposed to be pretty weather resistant. And how safe is it though? We don't really know. The hardware cloth and the stainless steel both have P65 warnings on them. So I had to cut a piece. I cut this one too big. I cut it at 24. He called for 24 on the two side panels there and over here. But when I got thinking about it after I realized how hard it is to cut that metal, I went ahead and put the 24 here because I'm just going to cut 48s for that side and that side. I'm not going to make more cuts on that stuff than what I have to. Alright, I'll see if I can get any more done tonight. Alright, we're on day 3 of the chicken tractor build. I ran out of daylight last night, so I had to go inside. Alright, we have proof now that something is getting inside of our chicken coop. First point of evidence is something has eaten a hole in the chicken feeder, which none of the chickens will be able to eat through that plastic. Second thing is something drug one of our chickens out last night, so now we're down to 21 chickens. So there's the hole right there between the two holes.
I was trying to move this, I can't move it.
And here's our bird that got taken last night. So whatever it is that's getting in there seems to be coming every other night. So it was here last night, I think it was here 2 nights ago and 2 nights ago before that. I really want to get this done tonight, even though I hope and think it's probably going to keep the same pattern and not be here tonight. I really want to get this chicken coop done tonight so I can get them out of those cardboard boxes. We were trying to slide some wood underneath them a couple nights ago, but the boxes have gotten so wet from where this gravel ground garage floor gets wet, that the boxes are so wet on the bottom that we can't even lift them up under the weight of the hay and everything to get a piece of wood underneath. So I'm hoping to get this finished tonight so we don't lose any more chickens. Now last night before I went in, I did get one more wall put on as far as the wire mesh. So I'll show you that here where we left off, and then I'll move on to the next step. Alright, so I've got my other 48-inch panel attached to the other side, and the next step is to take your two 2x2s that are 23 inches long and 3 2x2s that are 15 inches long and secure them together in the shape of the door. So we've got your 23 inches down both sides and your 15s top, bottom, and down the middle. From there, in the middle of that, you're going to put on your door hinges.
Did it break yet?
What happened here?
It broke now. It broke now.
Uh-oh, I have a problem.
What?
My door hinge is folded up under this.
Oh yeah, that's a big problem.
I don't know how that happened.
She's over there.
Alright, crisis averted. Got the pin pulled and got that hinge out of there. So my wife is trimming some of the excess off.
Say this is funny.
She's enjoying herself. This is my least favorite part of the job, was cutting these things with tin snips. Now we did add some PVC pipe on the end of our snips here to give a little bit more leverage, and that does help a lot because my hands were hurting so bad yesterday. So the door has been secured now with the hasp. It's a little tight, so you have to like push with the hasp to get it to shut. Try to shut the door first, then do the hasp. A little bit harder. Next thing, the next step is where I deferred a little bit because I didn't buy any metal roofing, metal tin. So I've just got plywood that I'm attaching right to the sides of this thing in the back. So I'm going to stain this and the whole thing when we're done to try to keep it protected from the elements. But that's what we're using instead of tin. And then I have a little bit something different for the roof too. All right, guys, it is dark out, but my wife really wants this thing done tonight so we can get the chickens in here. So I'm at least going to try to get to a point where we have a roof and stuff that we can close and they can move in. All right, so what I've done so far, I believe last time I had already put on the sides here, but if not, we put on the side panels and we put on a panel on the bottom. Now we're going to put a panel up this side and up this side, and then this square box stays open because that's where your nesting box is going to. I've also started another frame with another 40 and then 8-foot 2x2 and another 40, and then every 2 feet we're going to put in another 40, another 40, another 40. So you're going to have 5 40-inch poles going across the center of those 2 8-footers. That will eventually become the framing for the roof that we will put on later. All right, guys, and there it is. So right now this is just set on here. It's not screwed down or anything, but there I've got my 40, 40, 40, 40, 40 every 2 feet all the way down. All right, guys, so if I'm understanding this next part, you're going to take your hinge and the side, the flat side is going to go against this. The rounded part that sticks out will stick on the outside. However, it appears that you mount your board from the back side like that. Alright, so the hinge is attached to the back side, rounded side pointed out. And then we have another latch over there. And then there's our nesting boxes, 2 milk crates that go inside. Alright, so for the next part, get yourself some friends. Hi friends! Thanks for helping me. Alright, and we are going to put the hinges on the inside of the roofing frame so that when we got it done, it can shut right on top. And then we had the question, why do we even need to open the roof? We don't know. Maybe if a chick dies or something on the inside, you can open it up to pull them out.
What we really don't know is what this thing is.
That we do not still understand. What is this? What does it do?
It's a perch. Oh, you can block the chickens from laying eggs.
There. Now you can't get in. No eggs today. We don't want any. We got too many in the fridge. Is that what that's for? Alright, well here's where our plans also differed. Since we didn't get a tin roof, I'm putting up these panels right now across the top boards because we are going to install polycarbonate roofing. Alright, and there it is with the roof on. Baby chicks already inside. We ran out of bedding, so but we do have a piece of plywood down on the floor to hopefully try to keep anything out that's been trying to come in and eat our baby birds. Alright guys, so that's it for the DIY chicken tractor build. If you want to follow along, again, I'm going to put the link in the description down at the bottom so you can go to the Abundant Permaculture website and download those plans yourself and hopefully come back and watch the video as you build along. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like the video, subscribe so you don't miss when we post more content.
Subscribe for more content.
Thank you.